Welcome to my revision of my textbook I wrote to teach homeschoolers world history. A Bible Believer Looks at World History, which I sold on Amazon and Lulu.com. So let's pick it up where I left off. The first shrine to the goddess Diana was built around 800 BC on a marshy strip near the river at Ephesus. The Ephesus goddess Diana, sometimes called Artemis, is not the same figure as the Artemis worshipped in Greece. The Greek Artemis is the goddess of the hunt. The Ephesus Diana was a goddess of fertility and was often pictured as draped with eggs or multiple breasts, symbols of fertility from her waist to her shoulders. The shrine was destroyed and rebuilt several times over the next few hundred years. By 600 BC, the city of Ephesus had become a major port of trade, and an architect named Persephone Chersiphron was engaged to build a new large temple. He designed it with high stone columns. Concerned that carts carrying the columns might get stuck in the swampy ground around the site, Persephron laid the columns on their sides and had them rolled to where they would be erected. This temple didn't last long. In 550 BC, King Croesus of Lydia conquered Ephesus and the other Greek cities of Asia Minor. During the fighting, the temple was destroyed. Croesus proved himself a gracious winner, though, by contributing generously to the building of a new temple. This was next to the last of the great temples to Diana in Ephesus, and it dwarfed those that had come before. The architect is thought to be a man named Theodorus. Theodorus's temple was 300 feet in length and 150 feet wide, with an area 4 times the size of the temple before it. More than 100 stone columns supported a massive roof. The new temple was the pride of Ephesus until 356 BC, when a tragedy by the name of Herostratus struck. Herostratus was a young Ephesian who would stop at no cost to have his name go down in history. He managed this by burning the temple to the ground. The citizens of Ephesus were so appalled at this act, they issued a decree that anyone who spoke of Herostratus would be put to death. Shortly after this horrible deed, a new temple was commissioned. The architect was Scopas of Paros, one of the most famous sculptors of his day. Ephesus is one of the greatest cities in Asia Minor at this point, and no expense was spared in this construction. According to Pliny the Elder, a Roman historian, the temple was, quote, a wonderful monument of Grecian magnificence and one that merits our genuine admiration. The temple was built in the same marshy place as before. To prepare the ground, Pliny recorded that layers of trodden charcoal were placed beneath, with fleeces covered with wool upon the top of them. The building is thought to be the first completely constructed with marble, and one of its most unusual features were 36 columns whose lower portions were carved with figures in high relief. The temple also housed many works of art, including 4 bronze statues of Amazon women. Pliny recorded the length of this new temple at 425 feet and the width at 225 feet. Some 127 columns, 60 feet in height, supported the roof. In comparison, the Parthenon, the remains of which stand on the Acropolis in Athens today, was only 230 feet long, 100 feet wide, had 58 columns. According to Pliny, construction took 120 years, although some experts suspect it may have only taken half that time. We do know that when Alexander the Great came to Ephesus in 333 BC, the temple was still under construction. He offered to finance the completion of the temple if the city would credit him as the builder. The city fathers didn't want Alexander's name carved on the temple, but didn't want to tell him that. They finally gave the tactful response, quote, "It is not fitting that one god should build a temple for another god." Unquote. Alexander didn't press the matter. Politicians have never changed. Um, Pliny goes on and reports about some of the construction. I want to finish talking about the Temple of Diana, which you'll see in some books to say the Temple of Artemis, but I wanted to point out that Artemis in Greece is thought of differently than Diana, and Diana is mentioned in the Bible. So anyway, we'll stop there. Um, Feel free to disagree. If you have other information you want to put in there, I'm fine with learning from you. All right. Click like though if you watched it. Thanks.